Hello everybody, welcome to Stan's Garage with a new installment of Another Week, Another Hack. And this time with a little twist. So in case you've ever wondered, yes, even hackers get hacked. Remember the REvil gang, the bunch responsible for a couple of high-profile hacks about a few months ago that I talked about? Well, this time around, governments retaliated against them by taking them offline. Here's how it all went down. So, according to 3 private sector cyber experts working with the United States and one former official who spoke under the condition of anonymity, a multinational task force broke into REvil's private servers and drove the group offline. The criminal organization's Happy Blog website, from which a lot of their activity originated, was completely shut down. Former partners and colleagues of the Russian-led criminal gang were responsible for a cyber attack on the Colonial Pipeline back in May, which I did a video about, and it resulted in significant gas shortages all along the eastern seaboard of the United States and some other countries around the world. Another one of REvil's high-profile victims was JBS, a leading meatpacking distributor. So, couldn't get gas or bacon. Tough time all around. Officials claim that the Colonial attack made use of encryption software known as DarkSide, which was developed by associates of REvil. So Tom Kellerman, the head of cybersecurity strategy at VMware, stated that law enforcement and intelligence professionals were able to prevent the organization from targeting more companies. The FBI, in collaboration with Cyber Command, the Secret Service, and other like-minded countries, has engaged in considerable disruptive operations against these groups, said Kellerman, a cybercrime expert who advises the United States Secret Service. REvil was at the top of the priority list. REvil's servers had been hacked, according to a senior figure known as One Day, spelled 0_ and day, had assisted in resuming operations after the organization had been forced to close its doors earlier this year. So REvil's been in the crosshairs for a while. Now, according to One Day, posted on a cybercrime site over the weekend, their server had been compromised and they're looking for me. FBI, open up! Not me, One Day. Wishing you all the best of luck. I'm off. So, they're making hackers pack their bags. The United States government's efforts to combat REvil, one of the most dangerous of dozens of ransomware gangs that collaborate with hackers to infiltrate and disable firms all around the world, have intensified after the group attacked the software management company Kaseya in July of this year. Also a video I talked about. A flurry of emergency cyber incident response calls came in after hundreds of Kaseya customers were unable to get access to their accounts as a result of that compromise. And that triggered all that activity. So because of the mass nature of the attack on Kaseya, the FBI was able to secure a universal decryption key that allowed anyone infected via Kaseya's hack to recover their files without having to pay a ransom to the hackers. But at that point the damage is done and all that customer data is already out there. However, the FBI eventually stated that law enforcement agents first delayed the key for several weeks while they quietly sought out REvil's team. So they had the cure, but they held it back. Who go figure? Anyway, according to people familiar with the situation, cybersecurity specialists were able to hack into REvil's network architecture, gaining control of at least some of their servers. So, following the takedown of websites used by the hacker organization to do business back in July, the chief spokesman for the gang, who goes by the name of Unknown, vanished off the face of the internet entirely, right? It was actually by unintentionally restarting some of those systems that were already taken over by law enforcement. They were able to regain access for that compromise when the software that the government put on those servers was stored in the backups. So it's kind of ironic because that's a way hackers will get into normal systems, by hacking into the backups. Look, irony, it's all around us. So this goes to show what's the best way to maintain your backups, and you want to keep them separate from the main networks to keep them out of the hands of extortionists like REvil, right? Start with the 3-2-1 strategy. 3 copies of the data, 2 local, 1 off-site, and disconnected from the main network. Tie that into regular tests of those backups and a good backup and disaster recovery policy, and you're going to be putting yourself in a good position to protect yourself should some kind of disaster strike. Representatives for the White House National Security Council declined to comment on the specifics of the operation in this instance. They don't want to expose their techniques. And a spokesperson for the department stated that in general, we're undertaking a comprehensive government-wide ransomware effort, which includes disrupting ransomware infrastructure and actors, collaborating with the private sector to modernize our defenses, and forming an international coalition to hold countries that harbor ransom actors accountable. Shots fired, y'all. When a state actor wants to get you, they're gonna get you, right? The FBI did not respond to any requests for comment, but I'm sure they were involved as well. So, according to source with knowledge of the events, the hacking operation that breached REvil's computer architecture was carried out by a foreign partner of the United States government, so claimed the source. According to a former senior United States official who spoke under the condition of anonymity, the operation is still ongoing. Ransomware attacks on key infrastructure should be viewed as a national security issue on the same level as terrorism, according to VMware's Kellerman. He credited Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco with making this judgment. So, in June, the Justice Department's Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General John Carlin told Reuters that investigators into ransomware assaults had been elevated to the same high level of importance as terror. So, cybercrime is being looked at in the same vein as terror. That is a major blow to ransomware activities globally. Also, according to Kellerman, such steps provided the Justice Department and other agencies with a legal basis to request assistance from U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Defense. So they're really pulling out all the stops here when it comes to stopping this sort of activity. So it was previously impossible to hack into these kinds of sites, and the military refused to have anything to do with them. But since then, gloves are off. They're going full bore at these guys. So what we're seeing here was bound to be inevitable. Ransomware became more and more widespread with higher profile targets, and it was only a matter of time before the government dropped the hammer. Does this mean the end of ransomware or other for-profit hacking activity? Highly doubtful. When there are big paydays involved, cyber criminals are going to keep at it. Proper information security and business continuity plans are the first line of defense for your organization. The long arm of the law, while it'd be nice if it'd show up more often when you need them, should never really be considered more than a last result. But hackers beware, now you got the government on you, so be it. Well, that wraps up this edition of Another Week, Another Hack. What do you think of your government and law enforcement stepping up, taking down some cyber criminals? Is this a new trend in the battle of information security, or just a momentary blip for hackers everywhere? I'd love to get your feedback in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.